Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar Channel. I'm Alex and I'm here with Mr. Lee. Today we're kicking off our Great 8 series, the 8 parts of speech. Mr. Lee, I heard we're starting with the heavy hitters.
That's right, Alex. We're starting with verbs. If a sentence were a car, the verb would be the engine. Without it, you're just sitting in a shiny metal box going nowhere.
The engine. I like that. So verbs are just things you do, right? Like jumping or drinking coffee?
Exactly. Most verbs are action verbs. They tell us what the subject is performing.
Right.
However, keep in mind that a few special verbs just show a state of being, like the word is or seems. But for today, we're focusing on the movers and the shaker.
Action verbs only. Got it. I think I'm ready for a test run.
Let's do it. I've got 3 sentences for you. Tell me which word is the action verb.
Ready? Born ready.
Sentence 1. The rocket soared toward the moon.
Ooh, fancy. The subject is the rocket, and what did it do? It soared. That's the action.
Spot on. Sentence 2. Catch that golden snitch.
That's a command. The action you're telling me to do is catch.
2 for 2. Last one, sentence 3. The chef flipped the pancake high into the air.
I'm getting hungry, but the verb is definitely flipped. It's what the chef is physically doing.
Perfect. You see, whether it's a wolf running or a chef flipping, those action verbs provide the energy. They make the story move.
I feel like a pro already.
Okay, Alex, let's try a superstar edition. Tell me the action verbs in these Ronaldo-inspired sentences. First one, Ronaldo sprints down the wing.
That's easy. Sprints. It's fast, it's intense, it's definitely an action.
Perfect. How about he drills the penalty into the bottom corner?
Drills. It describes exactly how he kicked that ball.
Last one, the fans cheer for the GOAT.
Even though the fans are just standing there, cheer is the action they are doing with their voices. I got this.
Okay, Alex, let's see if you can find the action verbs in what's happening right now in the world.
Challenge accepted. Lay it on me.
First up, Taylor Swift and Kelsey partied at an exclusive Oscar bash.
The verb is partied. That's the action. And honestly, that sounds like a fun one to do.
It certainly does. How about this one from the gaming world? Gamers battle for high scores in the new Doge leaderboard.
The action is battle. It's what the players are doing to win.
Spot on. Last one, and this is for the K-pop fans. BTS unites for their first major concert after military service.
Unites. That's the action of the group coming back together. I think I've officially mastered action verbs. I think I've got it, Mr. Lee. Action verbs are the stars of the show. Whether it's Ronaldo striking a ball, Michael B. Jordan winning an Oscar, or a K-pop group uniting for a world tour. If there's movement or an activity, it's an action verb.
You've nailed it, Alex. You've officially reached boss level for lesson 1. But before we go, I have a curveball for you. Listen to this sentence. Ronaldo is a legend.
Wait, there's no running or jumping there. He's just being a legend. What's the verb?
Exactly. The verb is. It doesn't show an action, it shows a state of being.
Whoa, so the engine can just idle while the car stays still?
Precisely. These verbs are like the glue that connects the subject to who or what they are. They exist just to show that something is or exists.
Okay, I'm intrigued. If we aren't sprinting or dancing, what are we doing?
We are existing, Alex. And that is exactly what we are going to tackle in Lesson 2, State of Being Verbs. We'll look at the to-be family, words like am, is, are, was, and were.
I'm ready to just be a grammar expert.
Ask the Spirit. Thanks for tuning in to Boss Level English Grammar. We'll see you next time to find out how to use the most static verbs in the English language.
Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar. I'm Alex, and I am still buzzing from our last session. Mr. Lee, I've been spotting action verbs everywhere. People running, dogs barking, Taylor Swift performing. I feel like I've got the engine revving.
That's the spirit, Alex. But remember that curveball I threw at you at the end of the last episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the car isn't speeding down the highway. Sometimes it's just idling.
Right. You said Ronaldo is a legend. No sprinting, no drilling the ball into the net, just being.
Exactly. Today we're diving into state of being verbs, also known as linking verbs. These verbs don't show movement or activity.
Okay.
Instead, they act like a bridge or glue, connecting the subject to a description or a role. They simply show that something exists.
Like the to-be family you mentioned. Is, am, are, was, were?
Spot on. But there are others too, like be, being, been, seen, look, feel, and become. Let's put your boss-level skills to the test with a few examples. Ready?
I'm standing still and ready to exist. Let's do it.
Sentence 1. My father is a pilot.
Okay, my father isn't flying the plane in this sentence. We're just saying what he is. So the verb is.
Perfect. It links father to pilot. Now, try sentence 2. The cake looks good.
Ooh, the cake isn't looking with eyes. It's just being delicious looking. The verb is looks.
You're on a roll. Last one for the main set. Sentence 3. You seem lonely.
That's a feeling one. No one is doing an action, but there's definitely a state of being there. The verb is seem.
You got it. Whether it's is, am, are, was, were, be, being, been, seem, look, feel, or become, these words are the quiet heroes of the sentence.
The quiet heroes.
They don't provide the action energy, but they tell us the truth of the subject.
So, if action verbs are the engine, these linking verbs are like the GPS, telling us exactly what or where the car is.
Love that analogy, Alex. You're becoming a true grammar expert. Now let's upgrade to the superstar edition. Tell me the state of being verbs in these celebrity sentences.
I'm ready for the bright lights.
First up, Shohei Ohtani is a dual-position superstar.
Even though he's hitting home runs elsewhere, in this sentence there's no physical action. The verb is. It's just a fact of his status.
Correct. How about Bad Bunny was the headliner for the Super Bowl halftime show?
Was. It describes the role he had. He wasn't performing in that specific sentence, he just held the title.
Fast one for the stars. Zendaya became the center of attention at the Oscars.
That's a change of state verb. The verb is became. She didn't run into the center, she just transitioned into that state of being noticed.
You are pro, Alex. Now, let's see if you can handle the current events round. What's happening right now?
Lay it on me. I've got my news feed ready.
First one, the new AI updates are very helpful for students.
The software is processing data elsewhere, but here the state of the updates are the verb.
Exactly. How about this? The crowd at the F1 Grand Prix feels energetic today.
Feels. It's describing the vibe of the track. No one is physically feeling a texture, it's just the state of the crowd.
Spot on. One more. Global exploration becomes the ultimate goal for Gen Z travelers once they graduate.
The verb is becomes. It shows the transition into that new state of mind or goal.
You've nailed it, Alex. You've officially reached boss level for Lesson 2. You've mastered the static side of verbs.
I am a grammar expert. See, I used the linking verb.
Ha 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 ha! You certainly are. But don't get too comfortable just yet.
Oh no, what's coming?
Our next lesson, we're putting it all together. We'll be reviewing both action verbs and state of being verbs in a boss level mini exam to see if you can tell the engines apart from the glue.
Challenge accepted. I'll be ready to ace it.
That's the spirit. Thanks for turning in to Boss Level English Grammar. We'll see you next time for the big review.
Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar Channel. I'm Alex, and my brain is wide awake and ready to go.
That's the spirit, Alex. Today is the big review where we put it all together.
Okay.
We're going to see if you can tell the engines, our action verbs, apart from the glue, our state of being or linking verbs.
Challenge accepted. I'm ready to reach boss level for the whole verb category.
Let's start with 5 everyday sentences to warm up. First one, the thunder rumbled in the distance.
Rumbled is the verb. Since the thunder is making a physical sound and vibration, it's an action verb.
Correct. Number 2, the milk smells sour.
Smells is the verb. The milk isn't sniffing anything, it just exists in a sour state. That's a linking verb.
Excellent distinction. Number 3, the students studied for hours.
Studied is the verb. That is a mental and physical activity being performed. Action verb.
Indeed. How about this? My keys are on the table.
Are is the verb. It's a member of the to be family, showing where the keys exist. Linking verb.
Perfect. And the last one for this round. The birds chirped at sunrise.
Chirped is the verb. It's a physical action the birds are doing with their beaks. Action verb.
Now for the bright lights. Identify the verbs in these 5 celebrity-inspired sentences. First, LeBron James dunks the basketball.
Dunks is the verb. It's a high-energy physical movement. Action verb.
You got it. Next, Taylor Swift is a global icon.
Is the verb. It's just glue connecting Taylor to her title. Linking verb.
Right. What about this? The Weeknd sang his biggest hits.
Sang is the verb. It describes the physical act of performing. Action verb.
Good. 2 more. Margot Robbie was the star of the movie.
Was is the verb. It shows a state of being in the past. Linking verb.
And last one for the Superstar edition. Tom Holland flipped across the stage.
Flipped is the verb. That is definitely a physical action. Action verb.
Great job. Now let's see if you can handle what's happening in the world right now. SpaceX launches another rocket into orbit.
Launches is the verb. It's the engine that provides the energy for the sentence. Action verb.
Exactly. Number 2, the new AI models appear very intelligent.
Appear is the verb. It's describing the state of the models, not an action they're doing. Linking verb.
Well said. Next up, athletes compete for gold at the championship.
Compete is the verb. It's the activity the athletes are performing. Action verb.
Right. And this one, the world's climate becomes a major talking point.
Becomes is the verb. It shows a change of state or transition. Linking verb.
Yes. Last one for current events. fans stream the latest viral hit millions of times.
Stream is the verb. It's the physical action fans are taking on their devices. Action verb.
For the final challenge, we have the shapeshifters, verbs like look, feel, or appear that can change roles.
Ooh, the tricky ones.
Exactly. Let's try this pair. The detective looked for clues versus the detective looked tired.
In the first, he's using his eyes to search. Action. In the second, looked just links him to a description. Linking verb.
Excellent. How about I feel the soft velvet versus I feel happy?
Touching the fabric is a physical action, but feeling happy is a state of being. Linking verb.
You're on a roll. The magician appeared on stage versus the plan appeared perfect.
Showing up is a physical action, but appearing perfect is just connecting the subject to a role. Linking verb.
Fantastic. She grows roses in her garden versus she grows weary of the rain.
Planting and tending is an action, but growing weary is a transition into a new state. Linking verb.
Last one. The dog smelled the bone versus the dog smelled bad.
Sniffing is an action, but smelling bad is just the truth of the subject's condition. Linking verb.
You've nailed it, Alex. You've officially mastered the difference between the engines and the glue.
I've officially reached the top of Verb Mountain. But wait, Mr. Lee, what happens when there's more than one word in the engine? Like, the rocket is launching.
That is the perfect question to end on. It is? Sometimes an engine needs a jump start from a helping verb. That combination is what we call a verb phrase.
A whole phrase? I'm ready to level up again. Thanks for tuning in to Boss Level English Grammar.
We'll see you next time to tackle Lesson 4, Verb Phrases.
Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar. I'm Alex, and I've got my notebook out and my coffee ready. Mr. Lee, last time I asked about those double-decker verbs, like when the rocket is launching. You called them verb phrases.
That's right, Alex. Sometimes a single engine isn't enough. You need a whole system to get the sentence moving. A verb phrase is just a verb that is more than one word.
More than one, like a tag team?
Exactly. It's a combination of one or more helping verbs, also called auxiliary verbs, and one main verb.
Okay.
These phrases can be 2, 3, or even 4 words long.
4 words. That's a lot of glue for one engine. How do I know which words are the helpers?
There are actually 23 helping verbs you should memorize. If you know these, identifying verb phrases becomes a breeze.
Right.
Here they are. Group 1, is, am, are, was, were. Group 2, be, being, been.
Okay.
Group 3, has, have, had. Group 4, do, does, did.
Got it.
Group 5, shall, will, should, would. And Group 6, may, might, must, can, could.
Whoa, I recognize a lot of those from our state of being lesson.
Good eye. Words like is, am, and are can work alone as linking verbs, but when they stand in front of another verb, they switch jobs and become helping verbs.
Right.
Let's try some practice. Find the full verb phrase in this sentence. The storm is moving toward the coast.
Okay, I see moving as the main action, but is right there from group 1. So the verb phrase is moving.
Spot on. How about you have been sleeping for 10 hours?
That's a long nap.
Let's see. Sleeping is the main verb, have is from group 3, and been is from group 2.
That's a 3-word phrase. Have been sleeping.
You're a natural. One more. We might go to the concert tonight.
Go is the action, and might is a helper from group 6. The phrase is might go.
Let's bring in the celebrities. Identify the verb phrases here. Lionel Messi has scored another incredible goal.
Scored is the big action, and has is helping out. The verb phrase is has scored.
Perfect. How about Billie Eilish will be performing at the Grammys?
Ooh, a 3-worder. Performing is the main verb, helped by will and be. The phrase is will be performing.
Last one for the stars. The director could have won the award.
Won is the main verb. Could and have are the helpers. Could have won.
You're hitting boss level territory. Let's look at the world today. Scientists are studying the new Mars data.
Studying is what they're doing, and are is the helper. Are studying.
Correct. How about electric cars must be charged daily?
Charged is the main verb, and must and be are helping. Must be charged.
One more. The economy should improve by next year.
Improve is the main verb, and should is the helper. Should improve.
I feel like a pro. I've got my 23 helpers and I'm ready to spot them anywhere.
Not so fast, Alex. Before we wrap up, I have to tell you that some of these helping verbs are double agent.
Double agents? Are they working for the other side?
In a way, in our next lesson, we're going to look at how some helping verbs can be used alone as the main verb.
Wait, so they don't always need a partner?
Exactly. We'll learn how is, am, are, was, and were can stand alone as linking verbs, while has, have, had, do, does, and did always show action when they're on their own.
And what about the others?
We'll see how be, being, and been can flip-flop between action and state of being, while the rest of the list, the strict helpers, can never be used alone.
I'm ready to unmask these double agents. Thanks for tuning in to Boss Level English Grammar.
We'll see you next time to find out when a helper becomes the star of the show.
Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar. I'm Alex, my coffee is freshly brewed, and I am ready for answers. Last time, Mr. Lee left us on a massive cliffhanger about some of our helping verbs working as double agents.
That's right. Last episode, we looked at how those 23 helping verbs act as the glue for main verb to create a verb phrase. Today, we're looking at what happens when those helpers ditch their partners and become the star of the show.
I'm ready. Do all 23 of them have this secret double life?
Not quite. Some of them are strictly team players. Group 5, shall, will, should, would, and Group 6, may, might, must, can, could, cannot be used alone. They only function as helping verbs.
That makes sense. I can't just walk up to someone and say, I should. They'd look at me and wait for the rest of the sentence.
Exactly. But other groups can stand completely alone as the main verb. Let's break them down in training rounds so you can see them in action. Round 1. The linking double agents. Let's look at Group 1. Is, am, are, was, were. The rule is simple. When these words stand alone without another verb, they act as linking verbs or state of being. Try the sentence. The new espresso machine is a total lifesaver.
Okay, looking at the sentence, is the only verb there. Since it's from group 1 and it's flying solo, it's a linking verb. It links the machine to being a lifesaver.
Spot on. How about this one? The fans were ecstatic about the surprise album drop.
Were is sitting there all by itself, group 1 double agent. That makes it a linking verb connecting the fans to the feeling of being ecstatic.
Exactly. Let's do one more for group 1. I am perfectly happy to stay home tonight.
The verb is am. It doesn't have a partner, so it's a linking verb connecting I to the state of being happy.
Round 2. The action stars. Group 3, has, have, had, and Group 4, do, does, did. When these are used on their own, they always show action. Here is your first sentence. Maria has a brilliant idea for the final project.
Has is the only verb, so according to the rules, it's functioning as an action verb showing possession or ownership of that idea.
Perfect. Try this one. The dedicated chef does the prep work before the sun comes up.
Does is the only verb happening there. It's from group 4, so it's an action verb showing the physical work being performed.
You got it. Last one for this round. We had pizza for dinner 3 nights in a row.
Had is the only verb. It's from group 3, so it's an action verb showing that we consumed a lot of pizza.
Round 3. The shapeshifters. We can't forget about group 2. Be, being, been. These are unique. They are usually used with other verbs, but they can act as the main verb. Depending on the sentence, they can show either action or state of being. Sometimes, be can even stand completely on its own.
Oh, so they're like shapeshifters. Can we see them in action?
Let's try it. How about a simple command? Be quiet.
Wow, be is the only verb in that whole sentence. Since it's giving a command telling someone what to do, it's acting alone as the main action verb.
Exactly. Now try this one. I will be there.
Okay, will is the helping verb and be is the main verb at the end. It's connecting I to a location, so in this case, it's showing a state of being.
You nailed it. Let's do one more, bringing back a classic pet misfortune. The cat is being too loud by the coffee pot.
Is the helper and being is the main verb. Since he's actively making noise and misbehaving, being is showing action.
Round 4. Current events. Let's look at the world today and mix the rules up. You tell me if the double agent is linking or showing action. First up, the new space telescope is in orbit.
All right, the only verb is. That's a group 1 word flying solo, which means it's acting as a linking verb.
Correct. How about this headline? The tech company has a groundbreaking new app.
The verb is has, it's all alone, and since it's from group 3, it's an action verb showing possession.
You're not falling for any tricks today. Final sentence for the current events round. The marathon runners did their final practice this morning.
Did is the only verb there. That's a group 4 word acting alone, so it's an action verb showing the physical effort of the practice. I feel like a grammar detective. I can spot a helper in a verb phrase, and I can catch them when they're acting as the main verb, whether they are linking or showing action.
You've definitely leveled up today, Alex. But before you get too comfortable, I have another challenge for you next time.
Bring it on. I've handled double agents. What else could there possibly be?
We know how to spot a full verb phrase now, with all its helpers and its main verb. But in our next lesson, we're going to learn how to look at that entire phrase and figure out if it is showing an action or just a state of being.
Wait, so a huge 4-word verb phrase might not even be doing any action at all?
Exactly. It all comes down to the star of the show at the end of the phrase. We'll break down the secret to spotting the difference next time.
Oh, the suspense. I'll have my magnifying glass and a fresh cup of coffee ready. Thanks for tuning in to Boss Level English Grammar.
See you next time, Grammar Bosses.
Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar. I've got my notebook out and my coffee ready. Mr. Lee, we've covered the engines, our action verbs, and the glue, those linking verbs, but now we're seeing them merge into these double-decker verb phrases.
That's right, Alex. A verb phrase is a combination of one or more helping verbs and one main verb. Today we aren't just finding the phrase, we are deciding if the whole phrase shows an action or a state of being. Remember the hint. The last verb in the phrase is always the main verb, the boss.
The last word tells a story. If the boss is in action, the whole phrase is action.
Let's test your eyes with 3 sentences. Tell me the full phrase and the type. 1. The astronauts will land on Mars soon. 2. The chef is preparing a 5-course meal. 3. The students could study in the library.
I've got these. For the first, the phrase is will land. Since land is the boss and it's an action verb phrase. Second is preparing. Preparing is the boss. That's a physical action. Third, could study. Study is the main event and it's a mental action.
Now let's look at when the phrase shows a state rather than a move. 1. The movie must have been exciting. 2. You should be happy with those grades. 3. The milk might have become sour.
Okay, let me try these. Must have been is the phrase. Been is the boss. Since it's from the to be family, it's a state of being. Should be. Be is the boss, so that's also state of being. Might have become. Become is a linking verb. It shows a change of state, so state of being.
Let's go for the superstar edition. Find the phrase, identify the helpers, and tell me the type for these 3. 1. The rain should have been stopping by now. 2. The athlete might have been training since dawn. 3. I should have been more careful with the vase.
I'm on it. Sentence 1, the phrase is should have been stopping. The helpers are should, have, and been. The boss is stopping, so it's an action. Second, might have been training. Helpers are might, have, and been. Training is the boss, action. Third, should have been. The helpers are should, have, and been. So that's an action.
Wait a second, Alex. Let's look at that last one again. Is been an action?
Oh, I got caught up in the rhythm. Been is the boss there, and been is a state of being word. Even though it has helpers, it's just connecting me to the description of being careful.
Exactly. Don't let the length of the phrase trick you into thinking something is happening. If the boss is a linking verb, the whole phrase stays static.
Okay, let me see if I can summarize the whole boss level strategy for our listeners.
Go for it, Alex. Show them how to unmask any verb phrase.
To master a verb phrase, you follow 3 steps. Step 1, identify the full phrase. Look for the main action or state and grab all the helping verbs in front of it, like is, have, could, or might. Step 2, find the helpers and the main verb. List out the auxiliaries and then point to the very last word in that group. That's your main verb. Step 3, check the boss. Look at that main verb. If it's an action like running or kicking, the whole thing is an action verb phrase. If the main verb is a linking word like been or become, the whole thing is a linking verb phrase.
Perfect summary. You've mastered the 23 helping verbs and the double agents. You've officially reached boss level for the entire verb category, Alex.
I am ready for the next challenge.
And that was a perfect linking verb to end on. See you next time, Grammar Bosses.
Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar. I'm Alex, and today we're doing a massive recap. We've talked about engines and glue, but today is all about the multi-part engine, the verb phrase.
That's right, Alex. A verb phrase is just a main verb paired with one or more helping verb.
And there are exactly 23 of them. I've been practicing the groups you gave me.
Let's prove it. Give the listeners the full 23 helper lineup.
Here we go. Group 1, is, am, are, was, were. Group 2, be, being, been. Group 3, has, have, had. Group 4, do, does, did. Group 5, shall, will, should, would. And finally, Group 6, may, might, must, can, could.
Perfect. Now the golden rule. The main verb is always the very last word in the group, the boss.
Right, the boss.
Everything in front of it is just a helper. Let's look at phrases where the boss is an action. Alex, analyze these 5 individually.
I'm ready. Let's break them down. First, the engineers will design a skyscraper. The phrase is will design. Will is the group 5 helper. The boss is design, which is a physical activity. That's an action verb phrase.
Good.
Second, the choir is singing an anthem. The phrase is singing. Is the group 1 helper. The boss is singing. Since you physically sing, it's an action verb phrase. Third, you should practice your scales. The phrase is should practice. Should is the group 5 helper. The boss is practice, which is a mental and physical activity, action verb phrase.
Exactly.
Fourth, the cat has caught a moth. The phrase is has caught. Has is the group 3 helper. The boss is caught. Catching something is definitely an action verb phrase. And fifth, they could hear the music. The phrase is could hear. Could is the group 6 helper. The boss is hear. Even though it's internal, it's still a sensory action. Action verb phrase.
Now, let's see if you can spot the glue when it's part of a phrase.
Let's look at the bosses. Number 1. The explorers must have been brave. The phrase is must have been. We have 2 helpers here. Must from group 6 and have from group 3. The boss is been. Since been is just a state of existence, it's a state of being phrase. 2. The solution might be simpler. The phrase is might be. Might is the group 6 helper. The boss is be. This just links the subject to a description, so it's a state of being phrase. 3. He has been a loyal friend. The phrase is has been. Has is the group 3 helper. The boss is been. Again, no action here, just existing. State of being phrase. 4. The weather could become stormy. The phrase is could become. Could is the group 6 helper. The boss is become. As he taught me, become is a linking verb that shows a change of state. State of being phrase.
That's it.
And 5, we shall be ready. The phrase is shall be. shall is the group 5 helper, the boss is be, it's a member of the to be family, so it's a state of being phrase.
Last challenge, the long ones. Alex, be careful with these.
I've got my magnifying glass ready. 1. The artifacts should have been protected. The phrase is should have been protected. The helpers are should, have, and been. But I'm looking at the very last word, protected. Someone is physically protecting something, so the whole phrase is action.
Yes.
2. The passengers might have been waiting. The phrase is might have been waiting. The helpers are might, have, and been. The boss is waiting. Since waiting is something the subject is doing, it's an action verb phrase. 3. The milk could have been fresher. The phrase is could have been. The helpers are could and have. The boss is been. Ben's a member of the to be family, so it's a state of being phrase. 4. The project must have been completed. Helpers are must, have, and been. The boss is completed. Completing a project is an activity, so it's an action verb phrase. And 5. I would have been happier. The phrase is would have been. Helpers are would and have. The boss is been. Just like before, been is the glue that shows a state of being. State of being phrase. To recap for our grammar bosses at home, step 1, grab the full phrase. All the helpers plus the main verb. Step 2, point to the very last word. That's the boss. If the boss is an action, the phrase is action. If it's a to be or linking word, it's a state of being.
You've officially reached boss level for the entire verb category, Alex.
I've officially reached the top of Verb Mountain. Thanks for tuning in to Boss Level English Grammar.
See you next time, grammar bosses.
Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar. I'm Alex, and I am officially standing on the summit of Verb Mountain. I've got my 23 helping verbs memorized. I can spot a double agent from a mile away, and my coffee is at a perfect drinking temperature.
Glad to hear it, Alex. You've definitely mastered the multi-part engine, those verb phrases. But even on the summit of Verb Mountain, there are a few hidden caves we need to explore.
Hidden caves? Is there a secret level to the Great Eight?
Not a secret level, just a shortcut. Sometimes speakers and writers like to move fast. They take those helping verbs we just learned and smash them together with other words using an apostrophe.
Oh, you're talking about contractions.
Exactly. Contractions are 2 or more words combined with an apostrophe to save space and time. When it comes to verb phrases, these can be a little tricky because the helping verb often hides inside the contraction.
So the engine is still there, it's just camouflaged.
Precisely. Let's look at our 6 groups of helping verbs again. You remember group 3 and group 5.
Of course, group 3 is has, have, had. Group 5 is shall, will, should, would.
Perfect. Those are the most common camouflagers. Let's try a test run. Listen to this sentence. I've finished the entire pot of coffee. What's the verb phrase?
Okay, I see finished is the main action, but wait, that the on the end of I is actually have from group 3. So the full verb phrase is have finished.
Spot on. You found the hidden helper. Let's try one from group 5. They'll arrive by noon.
The bosses arrive. The ill attached to they is actually will, so the phrase is will arrive. That's an action verb phrase.
You're a natural. Now, let's look at the negative contraction. This is where people usually get tripped up. Look at this. We aren't leaving until tomorrow.
I see leaving as the action. Aren't is a combination of are and not. Since are is a group 1 helper, the verb phrases are leaving.
Correct. Just remember, not is never a verb. It's just an adverb hanging out in the middle of the engine. When you're identifying the verb phrase, you grab the helper and the main verb, but you leave the not behind.
Got it. The not is like a passenger, but it's not part of the engine itself.
Exactly. Let's do a quick superstar round. I'll give you a celebrity sentence with a contraction, and you unmask the verb phrase. Ready?
Born ready.
First one. Tom Cruise hasn't started filming yet.
The boss is started. The helper is has from group 3, even though it's hugging the word not. The verb phrase is has started.
Perfect. Next, the fans don't want the concert to end.
Want is the mental action. Do is our group 4 helper. The phrase is do want.
Last one. He'd already won the championship.
Ooh, that duh is tricky. It could be would, but here it's had because he had won. Won is the boss. Had is the group 3 helper. Verb phrase had won. I've got it. To unmask a verb phrase in a contraction, step 1, identify the contraction and the apostrophe. Step 2, expand the contraction to find the hidden helping verb. Step 3, pair that helper with the main verb to find the full engine.
You've officially reached boss level for Lesson 8, Alex.
I'm ready to keep climbing Verb Mountain. Thanks for tuning in to Boss Level English Grammar.
See you next time, Grammar Bosses.
Welcome back, Grammar Bosses. I'm Alex, and I am still high on the peak of Verb Mountain. I've been practicing unmasking those contractions from Lesson 8, but I feel like I need to push into the Pro League today.
Good to see you, Alex. You've already mastered how to expand contractions to find the hidden helping verb. But to really reach the next level, you need to identify what kind of engine we're looking at. Is it an action verb phrase or a state of being verb phrase?
Oh, so it's not just about finding the words, it's about knowing what they're actually doing.
Exactly. Remember, the boss of the phrase, the main verb, tells us the type. But to find that boss, we have to navigate the 6 groups of helping verbs. Let's run the gauntlet. I'll give you a sentence for each group. You unmask the contraction and tell me if the boss is an action or state of being verb. Ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Group 3, the have group. He's had a cold all week.
He's unmasks to he has. The engine is has had. Since having a cold isn't a physical movement, that's a state of being verb phrase.
They're sprinting to the finish.
There is they are. The engine is are sprinting. Sprinting is definitely high-speed movement. That's an action verb phrase.
We must have lost the keys.
Double unmask. Must of is must have. The engine is must have lost. Losing something is the result of an action. Action verb phrase.
If then how far?
You've is you have. The engine is have been. Since been is a state of existence, that's a state of being verb phrase.
Excellent. Now let's talk about the trickiest camouflage of all, the negative passenger.
You mean the word not?
Exactly. Not, or the NT in the contraction, loves to hitch a ride on the engine. But here's the boss level secret. Not is never part of the verb phrase. It's just a passenger in the sidecar. To find the engine, you have to kick not out of the car.
So I ignore the NT when looking for the boss. Let me try some from the remaining groups.
Group 4, the do group. He doesn't want a nap.
Doesn't is does not. I kick out the not, so the engine is does want. Want is a feeling, not a physical action. State of being verb phrase.
We won't start yet.
The won't trick, it's will not. I kick out the not, leaving will start. Starting a race is an action. Action verb phrase.
One more from Group 5. I shouldn't be happier.
Shouldn't is should not. Kick out the not and the engine is should be. Be is the ultimate state of existence. State of being verb phrase.
You're on fire. You're looking past the camouflage and the passengers and finding the boss with ease. Let's try one more superstar example to finish. She'd finished the marathon by noon.
That duh is the trickster. It's not would finished. That sounds wrong. It must be had finished from group 3. Finished is an action. The engine is had finished, making it an action verb phrase.
You've officially conquered the contraction camouflage, Alex. You're identifying the hidden helpers, ignoring the passengers, and finding the boss with ease.
It's all about the engine, Mr. Lee. Thanks for tuning in to Boss Level English Grammar. Keep climbing that mountain, everyone.
See you next time, grammar bosses.
Welcome back, Grammar Bosses. I'm Alex, and I am officially a Verb Mountain regular. I've been unmasking contractions like a detective. But, Mr. Lee, I have run into a situation. I thought the helping verb and the main verb were a committed couple, but something is getting between them.
You've discovered the third wheel scenario. And senses that are questions, the verb phrase, our happy couple, is often separated by another word.
It's so awkward. I see the helping verb, but then a noun or a pronoun just sits right in the middle before we get to the main verb.
Exactly. These words separating the verb phrases are usually nouns and pronouns. They're the third wheel on the date. But here's the secret. To find the engine, you have to ignore the third wheel and focus only on the helping verb and the main verb.
So I just look past the awkwardness to find the boss? Let's put this to the test.
Example 1. Will the rain stop soon?
Okay, will is the helping verb. The rain is a noun acting as a major third wheel here. If I look past it, I find the boss. Stop. The engine is will stop. That's an action verb phrase.
You've got it. Example 2. Have you been sleeping?
This is a crowded date. Have and been are the helping verbs. The pronoun you is the third wheel sitting right in the middle. The engine is have been sleeping. Sleeping is the action. Action verb phrase. Brilliant.
Example 3.
Should we be worried? Should is the helper. We is the pronoun third wheel. That leaves be as the main verb. The engine is should be. Since be is just a state of existence, that's a state of being verb phrase.
Spot on. Example 4. Did the cat jump?
Did is the helping verb. The cat is the noun breaking up the phrase. The engine is did jump. Action verb phrase.
Class 1, Alex, make it count. Can he be the winner?
Can is the helping verb. He is the pronoun third wheel. The main verb is be. The engine is can be. That's a state of being verb phrase.
You've mastered the awkwardness, Alex. You're identifying the hidden helpers, ignoring the third wheels in the middle, and finding the boss with ease.
It's all about the engine, Mr. Lee. Don't let a third wheel ruin a perfectly good verb phrase. Thanks for tuning in to Boss Level English Grammar.
See you next time, grammar bosses.
Welcome back, Grammar Bosses. I'm Alex, and I am still riding high from our last session at Verb Mountain. I've become a pro at spotting those third wheel nouns and pronouns sitting in the middle of my questions. I thought I had cleared the path for the engine, but Mr. Lee, I've hit an invisible wall.
An invisible wall. That sounds like you've encountered the adverb interrupter. Sometimes verb phrases are separated by words called adverbs.
Exactly. I was looking for the happy couple, the helping verb and the main verb, but now there are these other words like not or soon standing right in the middle. I aren't nouns or pronouns, so who invited them?
Those are adverbs. While they are often used with verbs, they are not considered part of the verb phrase.
Okay.
Think of them as an invisible wall. To find the engine, you have to reach right through that adverb to connect your helping verb to the boss.
So ignore the wall to find the boss. Let's put this to the test.
Example 1. You have not helped your father today.
Okay, have is the helping verb. Then I hit not, that's the adverb interrupter, the invisible wall. I'm reaching through it to find the boss. Helped. The engine is have helped. Since helping is something you do, that's an action verb phrase.
Perfect. Example 2. I will soon be home.
Will is my helper. Then I see soon, another invisible wall. I look past it to find the main verb, be. The engine is will be. Since be is just a state of existence, that's a state of being verb phrase.
Spot on. Example 3. The child had suddenly choked on the food.
Had is the helping verb. Suddenly is a big adverb wall sitting right in the middle. I'll jump over it to find the boss, choked. The engine is had choked. That is definitely an action verb phrase.
Now for a few new challenges. Example 4. The package will finally arrive tomorrow.
Will is the helper and arrive is the boss. Finally is just the adverb between them. The engine is will arrive, which is an action verb phrase.
Your own fire. Example 5. You must always be careful.
Must is the helper. I'm ignoring the adverb always to get to the main verb be. The engine is must be, a state of being verb phrase.
You've mastered it, Alex. You're identifying the hidden helpers and ignoring the walls in the middle.
It's all about the engine, Mr. Lee. Don't let a little adverbial interference ruin a perfectly good verb phrase. Thanks for tuning in to Boss Level English Grammar.
See you next time, grammar bosses.
Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar. I'm Alex, and I'm here with the man who literally wrote the book on syntax, Mr. Lee.
Glad to be here, Alex. Today, we're doing a boss level review. We've covered a lot of ground in lessons 7 through 11, specifically focusing on the engine of every sentence, the verb phrase.
Right. We know a verb isn't always just one word. Sometimes it's a whole team. Mr. Lee, let's look at some fresh examples to see if our listeners can spot the full phrase.
Let's start with the classic. Listen to this. My brother is napping on the sofa near the window. Alex, what's the phrase?
The action is napping, but we can't forget the helping verb is. So the full verb phrase is napping.
Exactly. Now, let's try one that's a bit more formal. How about the document can't be edited?
That NT for not always tries to sneak in, but it's an adverb, not a verb. The verb phrase is actually can be edited.
Spot on. How about a question? This one usually trips people up. Shouldn't I be a pirate for the party?
In a question, the subject, I, splits the team. But if we ignore the not, the verb phrase is should be.
To master this, you have to memorize the 23 helping verbs. We've broken them into 6 groups: is, am, are, was, were, be, being, been, has, have, had, do, does, did, shall, will, should, would, and finally, may, might, must, can, could.
That's the list. But Mr. Lee, you've told me before that some of these are secret agents because they can work alone without a main verb.
That's the extra credit level, Alex. The first rule covers verbs for state of being only. We call them the state of being 5. Is, am, are, was, and were.
They can stand alone, like in I am a teacher. The second rule is for action only. Let's call them the action 6. Has, have, had, do, does, and did show action when they are the only verb. For instance, I have an idea. The third group, the chameleons, can show either action or state of being. That's be, being, and being.
Okay, that makes sense.
And finally, the dependents. The remaining 9 verbs, shall, will, should, would, may, might, must, can, could, cannot be used alone. They are true helping verbs. They always need a main verb buddy.
So I can't say I must a sandwich. I have to say I must eat a sandwich.
Precisely. You're thinking with your stomach again, Alex, but your grammar is perfect.
That's all for today's review. If you can identify those 23 verbs, you're well on your way to boss level status. See you in the next lesson.
Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar. I'm your host, and if you've been following along, we've been diving deep into the world of verbs. Last time, we talked about how verb phrases can be like a small team. You've got your main action hero and your helping verbs providing the backup. But today, we're dealing with a common imposter. It's a word that hangs out in the middle of your verb phrases, looks like it belongs there, but is actually a total outsider. I'm talking about the word not.
Glad to be here, Alex. Today we're doing a boss level review of the engine of every sentence, the verb phrase. We know a verb isn't always just one word. Sometimes it's a whole team. Here's the golden rule for today. Not and its shortened cousin, nt, are never, ever part of the verb phrase.
Think of it this way. A verb phrase tells you what is happening or the state of being. Not does the exact opposite. It tells you what isn't happening. In the world of grammar, not is an adverb. It's modifying the verb, but it isn't the verb itself.
Let's look at how this looks in the wild.
Imagine you're watching a long baseball game. You might say, the game will not be finished for another hour.
If you're hunting for the verb phrase here, your eyes might want to grab that whole chunk in the middle. But remember our rule. The verbs are will, be, and finished. The word not is just sitting in the middle like a speed bump. You skip right over it.
Or take this one. The package will not arrive until Tuesday. The team is just will arrive.
Now, what happens when we use contractions? This is where it gets tricky because the word literally sticks to the verb. Take this sentence. The horse shouldn't have been worked so much.
When you see shouldn't, your brain sees one word, but for our grammar purposes, we have to peel them apart. The verb is should. The n/t is just an attachment that we ignore. So your full verb phrase is should, have, been, and worked. That's a 4-part team.
It's the same for something like, you shouldn't be playing in the rain. The phrase is simply, should be playing.
Finally, let's talk about questions. Questions love to split verb phrases apart and sandwich the subject in the middle. Wouldn't you give me another chance?
Here we have a double whammy, a question and a contraction. To find the verb phrase, ignore the subject, you, and ignore the n/t. What are you left with? Just would and give.
Or consider, has Sarah been studying all night? The phrase is has been studying. Sarah is just a passenger sitting in the middle of the verb phrase limo.
Now, before we wrap up, we need to look at the chain of command. Verb phrases can have 1, 2, or even 3 helping verbs.
3? That sounds like a crowd.
It is, and they follow strict rules. Verb phrases with 2 or more helping verbs always keep a definite order. Both helping verbs can combine with other helping verbs, but they will not combine with all of them.
So they have clicks?
Exactly. For example, you can say, I could have been napping, but you can't say, I been could have napping. There is a specific boss-level sequence they must follow.
That sounds like a teaser for our next deep dive.
It is indeed. If you can memorize the 23 helping verbs we discussed earlier, the is, am, are group, all the way to the may, might, must group, you'll start to hear that rhythm naturally.
Use those ears, listeners. If you can spot the 23 helpers and kick not out of the club, you're at boss level status. See you in the next lesson. Welcome back, language legends, to another episode of Verb Masters. I'm your host, Alex, still caffeinated, and you guessed it, still completely obsessed with verbs.
And I'm Mr. Lee, here to help navigate the wonderful and sometimes tricky world of grammar. It's great to be back, Alex.
It's great to have you. Now, in our last lesson, we did some serious myth busting. We learned how to spot the imposters in our verb phrases. Specifically, we figured out how to kick the word not out of the verb phrase club because it's not a verb at all. It's actually an adverb.
That's exactly right, Alex. A crucial distinction. We learned that not is just an adverbial speed bump. It modifies the verb, but it isn't part of the core verb team.
An adverbial speed bump. I love that. But today, we're taking it a step further. We're leveling up to what we're calling the chain of command. Sounds serious.
It is, in a grammatical sense. It's all about order.
Right, because verb phrases that have 2 or more helping verbs, and some can have up to 3 or 4, always keep a definite, unshakable order. You can't just throw them into a blender and hope for the best.
Precisely. They follow very strict, very predictable rules, and once you learn them, you'll sound more natural and fluent without even thinking about it.
Okay, so they're a bit picky.
Very picky. Think of it like a professional sports team or maybe an orchestra. Each player, each musician has a specific position. There's a sequence that absolutely must be followed for the whole thing to work.
I like that. It's like they have their own exclusive clicks. You can't just have the drummer trying to play the violin.
You certainly can't. And if you want to see what a winning team looks like, a championship lineup, you have to look at these boss-level combinations.
Ooh, boss level. I'm ready. Let's hear them.
All right, here are a few perfect examples. Is being said.
Is being said. Got it.
Has been said.
Hmm.
Will be said. Now for a longer one. Could have been said.
Could have been said. Wow, that's a 4-word verb phrase right there.
It is. Here's another. May have said. And one more. Had been said. Let's try a couple more for good measure. How about should have been trying?
Right, I can hear the pattern in those. There's a certain flow to them.
Notice the rhythm there. You can say could have been said and it sounds perfectly correct. But you would never ever say Ben could have said.
Oh, wow, no, that sounds awful. It completely breaks my brain to even hear it.
Exactly. Your brain knows the rule even if you can't articulate it. The order is everything. Now that you have a feel for it, let's test your ears.
I love this. Let's play Kick the Imposter Out of the Club.
Okay, group 1. The main verb is fired. Your helping verbs are am, will, being.
Am, will, being, fired. If you try to use all of them, you get something like will, am, being fired, which is just a disaster. To keep the chain correct, you get am being fired.
Perfect. The imposter was will. Ready for group 2? The main verb is learning. The helpers are been, could, does, have.
Been, could, does, have, learning. That word does immediately sounds wrong to me. The winning combination here is could have been learning. Does gets the boot.
Exactly right. 2 for 2. Let's try group 3. The main verb is sleeping. The helpers are might, do, have, been.
Okay, do was the outsider here again. The team is might have been sleeping.
You're on a roll. Let's do a couple of rapid-fire rounds. What about these 3 for the main verb discovered? Must, were, and be.
Must, were, be, discovered. Were has to go. The phrases must be discovered.
Excellent. And for a last one, the verb is sowed. The helpers are be, has, and should.
You ignore has and get should be sold.
Brilliant breakdown, Alex. If you can spot the 23 helpers and keep them in this strict line, you're officially at boss level status.
And that's really the secret, isn't it? Once you understand the sequence and identify which verb doesn't combine, you're conducting a grammatical orchestra.
A perfect analogy. Use those ears, listeners. If you can arrange your helpers in the right order, you've conquered one of the trickiest parts of the English verb phrase.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for leveling us up, Mr. Lee.
My pleasure, Alex.
And thank you, Language Legends, for tuning in. See you in the next lesson. Welcome back, Language Legends. I'm Alex, and I am officially moving past the basic training phase. We've spotted verbs, and we've organized the helping verb chain of command. But today, we're looking at something that feels like a glitch in the matrix. The same verb looks different every time I see it.
That's not a glitch, Alex. That's the shape-shifting nature of verbs. In episode 15, we're talking about verb forms.
Verb forms. Okay.
Verbs change their appearance to signal things like timing and who's doing the work.
Like a costume change?
Exactly. We use these changes for conjugations, which is just the fancy way of saying we're matching the verb to the sentence's need.
So how do these costume changes actually look?
Most of the time, it's all about the endings. Think of a simple action like moving quickly on foot. The standard look for most people is just a base word. The third person gear, if you're talking about a friend, you often add an S to the end. And the right now vibe, if the action is happening this very second, you add ing.
And then there's the past, right? Sometimes you add an ed, but sometimes the whole word just
breaks.
Those are the irregular verbs. They're the secret bosses of the grammar world because they have confusing changes that don't follow the normal rules.
The secret bosses. I like that.
We'll deep dive into them soon, but for now, just know that when a verb changes from its original form, it's still the same action, just in a different time zone.
I want to make sure I've got the pattern down. Let's look at how one verb can take multiple forms in a single conversation. We'll use the action of recording and the action of growing.
Good idea.
Okay, first, the action of recording, the routine. The host records the audio every Monday. The current mission, we are recording right now. And the archive, we recorded the intro yesterday.
That makes sense.
Now, the action of growing, the habit. A channel grows with consistent uploads. The momentum, our subscriber count is growing fast. And the milestone, the community grew by 10 people this week. And finally, the action of choosing, the preference. The player chooses their character. The decision, I am choosing the best thumbnail. And the result, Alex chose a great topic for today.
The key today is simple. Take note of those different forms. Don't let a changed ending trick you into thinking it's not a verb anymore.
It's all about the boss level focus. Let's test our listeners' ears with a few more. First, the team is developing a new strategy. The verb phrase is developing. Next, the manager chose the best candidate. The verb chose is the past shift. And finally, the system operates smoothly. That S tells us it's a regular habit.
Precisely. Whether it's a small change like an extra letter or a big change where the vowels swap out, it's all just the verb adjusting its gear for the level we're playing.
I see it now. If you can see the base action behind the suffix or the vowel change, you've mastered the shapeshifter.
Keep your ears open for those transitions, listeners. You've covered a lot of ground recently, from spotting helpers to tracking these shapeshifters.
That's right. So next time, we're not moving to a new level just yet. We're going to have a comprehensive review to make sure these foundations are solid.
A smart move. See you then for the review session.
See you in the next lesson. Welcome back, grammar bosses. I am Alex, and my caffeine levels are peaking just in time for the ultimate challenge. We've mastered the chain of command for helping verbs and tracked the shapeshifters as they change their costumes. Today, we're putting it all together in one giant review gauntlet.
That's the spirit, Alex. To be a true grammar boss, you have to see the engine of the sentence no matter how many helpers, imposters, or shifts are thrown at you. Let's dive into round one. Let's start with a warm-up. Alex, listen to this sentence. The team might have been practicing for hours. Can you find the verb phrase?
Oh, that's a boss level combination. The verb phrase is might have been practicing, and the helping verbs are might have been.
Perfect. You followed the hierarchy perfectly. Remember, the helping verbs must stay in that specific sequence. You'd never say been might have practicing.
Right.
Let's see if you can handle 5 more variations of the chain of command.
I'm ready. Let's run them. First, the project should have been finished yesterday. The phrase is should have been finished. Helpers should have been. Second, they will be traveling across Europe. That's will be traveling. The helpers are will and be. Third, the mystery must have been solved. A triple threat. Must have been solved. Helpers must have been. Fourth, I am being very patient right now. A state of being boss. The phrase is am being. The helper is am. And fifth, the students could have been studying. That action-packed phrase is could have been studying. Helpers could have been. That felt good, but let's try one with an imposter trying to crash the club. How about the witnesses had not clearly seen the exit?
This is where students often trip up. The rule. Words like not or clearly are adverbs, not verbs. They're like speed bumps in the middle of your engine.
Exactly. So even though they're squeezed in the middle, they aren't part of the verb phrase club. The verb phrase is had seen and the helping verb is had.
Spot on. Let's see if you can jump over the invisible walls in these 5 examples.
Challenge accepted. 1. He did not see the sign. Kick out not. The phrase is did see. 2. The team has finally won. Ignore finally. The phrase is has won. 3. She is always complaining. Always is the imposter. The engine is complaining.
That's it.
4. We will definitely be attending. I'm looking past definitely to find will be attending. And 5. The cat had quickly jumped. Quickly is just a passenger. The phrase is had jumped.
Let's combine today's review with what we learned about shape-shifting. Look at this sentence. Has the community grown since last year?
I see what you did there. You used a question format and a vowel swapping irregular verb. The verb phrase is has grown. The helping verb is has, and the shift is grown from the action grow.
Even when the sentence is a question and the helping verb moves to the front, they still form one cohesive mission.
One cohesive mission.
Right. Let's finish the gauntlet with 5 question-based shapeshifters.
Let's bring it home. 1. Has the bell rung? I ignore the bell in the middle. The phrase is has rung, a shift from ring. 2. Did you write that letter? Ignore the you third wheel. The phrase is did write. 3. Have the birds already flown south? A double whammy. Ignore the subject and the imposter already. The phrase is have flown, a shift from fly.
Excellent.
4. Could he have done the job better? Ignore he. The phrase is could have done, the ultimate shift of do. And 5. Will the witnesses be speaking today? Connect the ends. The phrase is will be speaking.
You've made it to the final stretch, Alex. Before we sign off, I have 2 sets of master-level data to throw at you. If you can analyze these, you are officially a grammar legend.
I'm ready. Give me set 1, the chain of command.
I'll give you the sentences. You isolate the phrase and the helpers, but remember, no adverbs allowed. First, the project might have been finished by noon.
Phrase might have been finished. Helpers might have been.
Next, she has not forgotten her promise.
I see that adverbial speed bump not. The phrase is has forgotten. Helper has.
Third, could they have been watching the wrong screen?
A question format. The phrase is could have been watching. Helpers could have been.
Fourth,
The message will be delivered shortly.
Easy. Phrase will be delivered. Helpers will be. And 5th,
I am currently recording the final segment.
currently is a total imposter. The phrase is am recording. Helper am.
incredible! Now the final push. Set 2, the shapeshifters. I'll give you the action and you show me how it changes its costume for the routine, the current mission, and the archive.
Let's shift.
The action of speaking.
He speaks clearly for the routine. He is speaking now for the current mission, And he spoke yesterday for the archive. That's a secret boss shift.
The action of designing.
The architect designs the blueprint for routine. We are designing a new level for current. They designed the original structure for the archive.
The action of writing.
Alex writes notes for routine. I am writing the review script for current. Mr. Lee wrote the instructions for archive. Vowel swap.
The action of developing.
A team develops code daily for habit. The team is developing a new strategy for momentum. They developed a great app for a milestone.
The action of choosing.
The player chooses a character for preference. I am choosing the best thumbnail for a decision. Alex chose a great topic for the result, irregular shift. I feel like I'm finally conducting the grammatical orchestra. Whether it's a small suffix change or a long chain of helpers, I can see the base action behind it all.
You've conquered the verb phrase, Alex. You've identified the helpers, unmasked the adverbs, and tracked the shapeshifters through the toughest question.
We've cleared the boss level. Thanks for joining us on Verb Mountain. See you in the next category. Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar. I'm Alex, and we're hitting a massive milestone today. Lesson 17. Mr. Lee, the shop is officially open for our mid-season diagnostic.
That's right, Alex. Today isn't just a lesson, it's a full overhaul of everything we've built. If you want to operate at boss level, you have to master the mechanics of the verb engine.
We've covered a lot of ground, but it all comes back to this. Verbs are the heart of the machine. They either show action, physical or mental energy, or state of being.
But, as our students know, a boss-level engine often has more than one part. We're talking about verb phrases. Alex, let's show them how these parts connect in the wild.
Let's start with standard action. Mr. Lee, give me a sentence where the engine is firing on all cylinders.
How about this? The team will finish the project.
Okay, I see it. Finish is the main action, and will is the helping verb. Let's look at 4 more examples. First, you should listen carefully. Second, the pilot is landing the plane. Third, I have studied for hours. And finally, they might participate in the final.
Simple, clean, and powerful. That's your basic action engine.
Now, what about when the engine isn't moving, but just existing?
Those are our state of being phrases. They describe a condition. Listen to this. The weather has been unpredictable.
Right. No one is being, but the state of the weather exists. Here are 4 more for the books. 1. You could be the next leader. 2. The results will be ready. 3. That might have been difficult. And 4. I am being honest with you. This is where it gets tricky. In our previous scripts, we talked about passengers that try to sit in the middle of the engine.
Exactly. Words like not, never, or the contraction int. At boss level, we identify these as interrupters. They are never part of the verb phrase engine.
Let's test the listeners. I'll say a sentence, you point out the engine and the interrupter. Sentence. We do not expect delays.
The engine is do expect. The interrupter is not. It's an adverb, not a verb.
Let's roll through 4 more. In the team has frequently requested a meeting, the engine is has requested. Next, you should never underestimate a verb. The engine there is should underestimate. Then, I can hardly believe it. The engine is can believe. And finally, they will definitely arrive soon. with the engine will arrive. What happens when we turn the key and ask a question, Mr. Lee?
The engine splits apart to let the subject sit in the middle. Look at this. Can the manager review this?
The engine is can review, but the manager is standing right in the middle of the phrase. Check these out. Has anyone seen the schedule? Will you be available later? Is the property undergoing repairs? And should we begin the check? Last segment. Let's put it all together. Multiple helping verbs, changing forms, and interrupters.
This is the ultimate test. Listen closely. The system could not have been updated.
Wow, 3 helping verbs, could have been, and 1 main verb, updated, all split by that interrupter, not. Let's do the final 4. First, have you not been listening? The engine is have been listening. Second, this will certainly be reviewed. The engine is will be reviewed. Third, can they ever be reimbursed? The engine is can be reimbursed. And last, you must always be watching. The engine is must be watching.
If you can spot those engines through all that noise, you are officially operating at boss level.
That's lesson 17. Review your notes, watch for those interrupters, and we'll see you next time.
Keep the engine running. Class dismissed.
Welcome back to Boss Level English Grammar. I'm Alex, and I am standing here with the man who believes a sentence without a verb is just a collection of lonely words, Mr. Lee.
That's right, Alex, because it's true. If the subject is the car, the verb is the engine. And today, listeners, we have reached a massive milestone. This is the verb finale.
The finale.
After today, we are officially leaving the world of doing and being and moving into the world of naming. Next lesson, we start noun.
Nouns, I'm ready. But before we get there, we have to make sure everyone is actually at a boss level with their verbs. We've got 10 true or false points to hit. Let's dive into our final verb quiz. Mr. Lee, question 1. Verbs never change form. True or false?
That is a big false. Verbs are the ultimate shapeshifters. They change to show us when things happen. Look at a verb like drive. It becomes drives, drove, or driving.
And question 2 says a verb is never just one word.
Also false. While they can be complex, a single word like run or slept can carry the entire action of a sentence by itself.
Question 3 says verb phrases keep a definite order.
True. You can't just throw verbs in the blender. There's a specific structure, a boss-level hierarchy, to how helping verbs and main verbs sit together.
And question 4 says there are 23 helping verbs.
True. Write that number down. Those 23 verbs are your best friends. They include the be family, the have family, the do family, and the modal.
Question 5 says helping verbs cannot be the main verb.
False. This is the plot twist. A word like has can help another verb like in has eaten. Or it can stand alone as the main verb as in has a car.
Which leads to question 6, helping verbs can be action verbs.
True. When they stand alone, words like do or have often describe a direct action. They are the double agents of the grammar world.
Question 7, verb phrases can have 3 helping verbs. That sounds like a lot, Mr. Lee.
It is, but it's true. Think of a phrase like should have been running. That's 3 helpers leading up to the main action.
Question 8, verbs can be in contracted form.
True. We use contractions like don't, haven't, or I'm every single day. The verb is still there. It's just wearing a leaner outfit.
And question 9, state of being verbs show action.
False. State of being verbs like is, am, or are don't move. They just exist. They link the subject to a description like an equal sign.
Finally, question 10. Verbs are the most important words in a sentence.
True. Every single time. Without a verb, you don't have a sentence. You just have a fragment. Verbs are the heartbeat of communication.
Mic drop. That is it for verbs. You've passed the first level.
Get your notebooks ready, everyone. Next time, we start the world of nouns. We'll see you at the next level.
This has been Boss Level English Grammar. See ya.